Good afternoon all. Today we are starting a new chapter. That is highway construction. Okay. So before starting, we will see some introduction about the chapter. After the alignment is finalized and the set out for the construction of the new highway, the subsequent stages involve design of the geometric feature, choice of the pavement type, soil investigation along the alignment, investigation of the and testing of the construction materials, design of the drainage system, structural design of the pavement, and the other structures. All these aspects have been covered in the different chapters of the subject. The next stage is the highway construction. Okay, so up till now, what we have covered, we have seen how the alignment has set down for the highways, how the materials of the different highway materials are to be tested. Okay, then how to design the structural pavements, what are the different types of the pavements. Okay. All these parts that we have covered up till now in the previous chapters. Okay. So now we will study how the highways are constructed actually. Okay. So in the highway construction, we will study what we will study, going to study the earthwork for the preparation of the road formation. Okay, whenever we are constructing the road, first term is what the earthwork. Before going for any structural design, construction of the any structural element, we will have to go for earthwork first. Okay, then second is the construction of the road drainage facilities. Then next is the construction of the cross drainage structures and the construction of the pavement structures. All these are executed at the site as per the design. Okay, first what we have to do, we have to go for the earthwork. Means what? Whatever the area we need to excavate, we have to excavate. If you have to go for the embankment of the soil, then we go for the embankment. If we have to go for the cutting, we will go for the cutting. This all this depends on the RL of the road. Okay, depending on the RL, depending on the slope that we have provided, longitudinal slope to the road. So depending on that, what we have to go for embankment or the cutting. Okay, so the first term is going for the earthwork. The second is the construction of the road drainage facility. Okay, along the road on the one side or on the two sides. Okay, we have to provide the drainage galleries, because all the water that is coming on the road, that should be traveled safely or removed safely from the road, so that what will happen, uh, the water will not percolate into the road. Okay, if it is percolated by the footpath sides, etc., so then we have to provide the drainage galleries into the road surface also. In the sub base, etc., we will provide the drainage system. So what will happen, whatever the water that is percolated, that will be drained out from the sub base courses or the base courses. We will provide the drainage at that course also. Okay, so that the easily removal of the water will be there, it will not penetrate into the subgrade soil. Okay, then we have to construct the cross drainage works. Okay, CD works. What are the CD works? Cross drainage works are nothing but what? The siphon, if we have to convert, build the aqueducts. Okay, you might have heard in the irrigation, etc. Aqueduct siphons that are constructed for the canal and river crossing. Similarly, here also, if we are crossing the any canal by the road, we have to provide the super passage or sub passage for the road. Then if we have to go for the super passages, construct it on over the bridge, by the bridge, or by the flyovers, etc. Okay, and if we have to go below that, below from the any obstruction, then we will go for the tunneling. Okay, so depending on the road, depending on the topography of that area, we will decide the what CD work that we have to provide, that is cross drainage works. Then the construction of the pavement structure, all then last time we have to go for the construction of the pavement, that may be the flexible, that may be the concrete pavement. Depending on the type of pavement, the stages will differ. Okay. The next term is, so this is about the introduction of the subject, that what we are going to study in this chapter. Okay. So this is a typical cross section of the highway on the embankment. Okay, if we have to build the highway on embankment, then this is the cross section of the highway. First, we have to go for the embankment filling. Okay, then we have to lay the subgrade soil, then the subbase, base course, and the pavement there. Okay, if it is the flexible pavement, subbase course, base course, binder, and the surface. If it is the rigid pavement, then directly on the subgrade we will provide the subbase or the base course, then the pavement surface will be there. Okay, so such type of the alignment of the different grades on the pavement of the pavements. Okay, so this is the typical cross sections of the highway embankment. Then what are the steps that are involved whenever we are constructing the highway? Okay, when we are constructing the new highway, what are the steps that we have to carry out? The steps for the highway construction on the embankment. We have to construct the highway on the embankment or in the cutting. Embankment is what? We have to take the earthwork, fill it, so that the RL will rise. If we have to cut the portion, then we will go for the highway in the cutting. Okay, so if we have to construct the highway on the embankment, what steps involved? The first step is the clearing and grubbing, the removal of the vegetation. We have to first, what we have to do, clear the ground. Okay, cleaning the ground is first step. So whatever the vegetation is there, roots are there, any other matter along the, any other organic matter along the alignment up to the bottom width of the embankment and the side grass. So whatever the vegetation is there, trees are there, shrubs are there, any other organic material is there, we have to clear it up to the bottom of embankment. Okay, we need to go with the up to the bottom of embankment. Also, we have to remove it from the side drains as well. Okay, so total whatever the width our road is there, okay, that we have to clean. Then recompaction of the ground that supports the environment to the specified density. Okay, what we have to do then, we have to fill the soil, then we have to compact it. Okay, by the different types of the compactors. What are the types of the compactor? Smooth wheel roller, it is there. Then the pneumatic tire roller is there, shift foot rolling is there. Okay, different types of vibrators are there. So by using this such equipments, we have to go for the compaction of the soil up to the required density. And generally for the major roads, the density of the road is, it should be maintained at the 98% of the dry density. Okay, we will see it after this. In the next PPT, it is there stepwise proportion for each layer. What is the procedures to be followed, that we have to see in this chapter. If we have to go for the base course, what the procedure is to be followed for construction of the base course. If we have to go for the subgrade, what procedure we have to follow for constructing the subgrade. For the waterborne macadam, for the flexible pavements, what steps to be performed. If we have to construct the concrete surface pavement, then what steps are to be performed. And so that we will going to study in the next PPT in this chapter. So the next step is the selected soil is to be sprayed and the compacted in the layers to form an embankment as a specified. Whatever the specified thickness of the layer that we have to maintain, that much amount of the soil what we have to do, dump it on the road. Then we have to go for the compaction with the layers. Okay, if we have to go for the more thickness, then we have to compact it in the layers. Okay, if the thickness is less, then at the time we can compact it. Okay. So the next step is So the next step is what? The selected soil is to be sprayed and the compacted into the layer to form a subgrade. Okay, we have to first prepare what? The subgrade soil. Whatever the soil that we have selected, that we have to take it on the road. Then what we have to do? Go for the compaction of that soil for the required thickness, and also we have to keep in mind we have to maintain the required density of that layer. Okay, we have to compact it at the required density, as well as we have to maintain the moisture content also. Okay, we have to maintain the optimum moisture content that is required on the site. Okay, if the field moisture content is less, we have to add the water. Okay, so that we should go for the optimum moisture content. Why to go for the optimum moisture content? To achieve the good bearing capacity of the soil. Okay, then the construction of the cross drainage works and the construction of the longinus side drains. Okay, after the compaction of the soil, what we have to do? We have to go for the construction of the drains. Also, if needed, we have to go for the construction of the cross drainage structures. Okay, if the super passage tunnels, etc. Okay, aqueducts. Likewise, we have to construct. Then the next step is the laying the drainage layer from the granular subbase course in the layer over the subgrade. Okay, now what we have done? We have taken the soil, compacted it so that it will form the subgrade layer. Then we have to take the, after the good compaction, we have to take the coarse material so that we will form a subbase layer of the required thickness with sufficient drainage provision. Okay, then building up the shoulders in the layer. Then what we have to do? Along with the base course, we have to construct the shoulders as well. Okay, in the case of the flexible pavement, construct the base course in the layers. In the case of the rigid pavement, construct the lean concrete base course. Okay, after the after placing the subbase course, what we have to do? If it is the flexible pavement, we have to go for the base course, and if it is the rigid pavement, then we have to go for the lean concrete base. Okay, what is the lean concrete layer? It is the concrete layer itself, but it have the less strength than the surface concrete. Okay, so it is the lean concrete layer that we have to lay on the subbase course. After that, in the case of flexible pavement, construction of the bituminous binder and the surface course. And in the case of rigid pavement, construction of the cement concrete slab and the specified joints. Okay, after the providing the base course, what we have to do in the flexible pavement, we have to provide the surface course of the binder. Okay, surface course of the binder we have need to provide. And in the rigid pavement, the last surface layer is of the concrete layer with the specified recommended thickness. Okay, depending on the traffic, the thickness is desired. So that much thickness we need to provide. Okay, and also after the provision of the thickness, after the querying, we have to do what we have to go for. We have to give the specified joints. That may be the transverse joint, that may be the longitudinal joint, depending on the length and width of that concrete road. Okay, we have to go for the joints. Then the finishing work as per the specification. Then what at the last, what we have to do? Finishing work. Okay, so that the aesthetic view also, the elegance of the road also should be good. Okay, so these are the normal steps that are carried out when we are constructing the embankment highway. Okay, road. Then if we have constructed the highway in the cutting, okay, now we have seen into the embankment. For embankment, we have to take the soil, we have to place it on the road, then we have to go for the rolling. Now the elevation of the road is more and we have to go with the less area. Okay, then that is called as cutting. At the cutting, what we have to do? Now we will see the first step in the cutting is excavation of the earth up to the desired width and depth with the cut slope as per the specification. Okay, whatever the specified slopes that we have to maintain while cutting the road. Okay, whatever the width and depth of the cutting that is specified at that portion that we need to go for. Okay, now what we have done, cutting the road. After cutting, what is the second step? Whatever the base portion is there, we need to go for that compaction of that base course. Okay, whatever the soil that is there now at the base after the cutting, we need to go for the compaction of that soil. Okay, then excavate the longitudinal side drain. After the compaction, what we have to go for? Side drains. We need to construct the side drains. Then the construction of the subgrade as per the specification, whatever the specified subgrade thickness, subgrade material, coarse aggregate with their gradings. Okay, what size of the aggregate should be used? That all we have to take and construct the subbase, subgrade course. Also, the next step is go for the cross drainage if it is required. The laying out the drainage layer come the granular subbase course over the subgrade. We have to, after the subgrade, what we have to provide the subbase course along with the drainage. Okay, why to provide the drainage in the subbase course? Whatever the water that is penetrated from above portion, that should be drained out into the side drain. Okay, that whatever the water it is penetrated into the road, that should be drained out to the drains, side drains that are provided. So that purpose drainage into the sublayer, subbase it is provided. So that the water should not percolate into the subbase first. Because ultimately what will happen if the water will penetrate into the subgrade layer soil, the bearing capacity of that soil will get depleted. Okay, so we need to drain out the water so that we will provide the drainage system into the sub base course. Then building up the shoulders into the layers. Then what we have to do? So with the subbase, we need to construct the shoulders. In the case of the flexible pavement, construct the base course in the layers, and in the rigid, construct the lean concrete. After the subbase, what we have to do in the flexible, provide the base course. If it is the rigid pavement, provide the lean concrete layer. Okay, and after that, what we have to do? We have to provide the surface binder layer into the flexible pavement, and into the course rigid pavement, we have to provide the concrete layer, whatever the desired thickness that is designed, that we have to maintain in the rigid pavement. Okay, and after this, we have to go for the joints. We have to provide the joints into the rigid pavements. Then the last step is what? The finishing steps. Okay. The only difference in the embankment and cutting is, in the embankment, we need to fill the soil and then compact. And in the cutting, we need to cut the soil, and whatever the portion it is there, we need to go for the compacting. This remaining procedure is same for this both the cases. Okay. Then we will now see the construction of the flexible pavement. Okay. Then so in the flexible pavements, the different components of the flexible pavements that we need to go for is the granular subbase and the drainage layer. The second is the granular base course. Third is the bituminous binder course and the bituminous surface course. Okay, you can observe into the figure also. In the figure, it is shown how the subgrades are laid there. Then after the subgrade, subbase layer and the drainage is provided. See, please see here carefully. The drainage, it is provided below the shoulder. You can observe into the figure. See here, the drainage layer, it is here up to here. Okay, that is the subbase layer. By that, this layer, water will go into the drain out into the whatever the side drains that we have provided. Into that drain, water will go out. Whatever the water that is percolated from the shoulder also, that is also come into the subbase layer. and from this we provide the drainage galleries so that the water will comes out and will go into the drainage, so that the whatever the water that what is our motto for this water, whatever the water it is penetrating, that should not be penetrated into the sublayer. Okay, this should not be happen, because if the water will go into the sublayer, ultimately it affects on the bearing capacity of that soil. Okay, so whatever the water it is there, it is penetrated from any layer, shoulder, it may from the binder or the coarse base course layer, that should be come out from the base course, sub base course. Okay, so that we provide the drainage gallery there, or the drainage layer, we can also say it. Okay, so the different types or the different layers, granular sub base course and the drainage layer, granular base course, bituminous binder course, and bituminous surface course. That so these four are the layers that we need to see step by step. One by one, we will see how to construct that layer. Means what? The granular sub layer. How to construct it. Different steps that involves to construct the granular sub layer, as well as what are the checks or the quality checking parameters that we need to follow after the construction of that layer. Okay, so we will see now that step by step. So before that, draw this figure. Draw this figure, all of you, and see how the layers are given. According to this, only draw the figure. On the subgrade, shoulder should be placed. Subbase, on the subbase, shoulder should be provided above the subbase. Draw this figure according to how it is given into the figure here. All of you, please draw this figure. Components of the typical flexible pavement. Draw this figure, everyone. Important figure. Draw this figure neat and clear. Neat and clean figure should be drawn. Okay, we will move forward. You see, before starting how to construct, before starting stepwise construction, you will see one video so that the idea, little bit idea will be clear by that video.
से फैलाना and level its surface to a desired gradient.
Good grammar and spelling are important, but if you want to write essays that inspire,
जितना भी
good grammar and spelling are important, but if you want to write essays that inspire,
सिविल इंजीनियरिंग चैप्टर वाइज में आज मैं आपके लिए लेके आया हूँ बेहद ख़ास वीडियो जिसमें हम स्टेप बाय स्टेप कंस्ट्रक्शन प्रोसीजर जो हमारा फ्लेक्सिबल पेमेंट का होता है उसके बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे। ये रोड नेशनल हाईवे नंबर 1 पे कंस्ट्रक्ट हो रहा है और इसकी डिटेल्स इस वीडियो में है। चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं आज की वीडियो। इससे पहले हम वीडियो को स्टार्ट करें आपको क्रॉस सेक्शनल व्यू ऑफ रोड मैं दिखा देता हूं जिससे आपको इस चैप्टर के बारे में अच्छे से समझ में आएगा। ये देखिए, ये है क्रॉस सेक्शनल व्यू ऑफ रोड। अगर रोड को हम बीच में से काट देते हैं तो उसकी लेयर्स कैसी कैसी दिखाई देती हैं, तो ऐसे ही वो दिखाई देती हैं। सबसे नीचे वाली लेयर जो कि ये लेयर है, ये होती है हमारी सोइल लेयर। इसको बोलते हैं सब ग्रेड, सोइल सब ग्रेड। इससे ऊपर की लेयर ये होती है हमारी कोर्स एग्रीगेट की, जिनका साइज़ थोड़ा बड़ा होता है। ये इस लेयर को बोलते हैं सब बेस कोर्स, सब बेस कोर्स। इससे ऊपर हमारी जो लेयर है ये, इसको बोलते हैं बेस कोर्स। इसमें एग्रीगेट का साइज़ हमारा बेस कोर्स एग्रीगेट से थोड़ा कम होता है, इसको बोलते हैं बेस कोर्स। और जो हमारी सबसे ऊपर की लेयर है, टॉप लेयर है, उसको बोलते हैं हम वियरिंग कोर्स और सरफेस कोर्स, जो कि है हमारी ये वियरिंग कोर्स और सरफेस कोर्स, जिस पे हमारा ट्रैफिक मूव करता है। ये देखिए, ये है बिटुमिनस पेवमेंट, और अगर कंक्रीट की हो तो आरसीसी की, ये हमारा टॉप लेयर की होगी। ठीक है, स्टेप बाय स्टेप हम इन चारों लेयर्स का कंस्ट्रक्शन प्रोसेस देखेंगे इस वीडियो में। ये देखिए, फर्स्ट स्टेप में हम देखेंगे प्रिपरेशन ऑफ सोइल सबग्रेड, प्रिपरेशन ऑफ सोइल सबग्रेड। नेक्स्ट स्टेप में हम देखेंगे कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ एग्रीगेट सब बेस कोर्स, कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ एग्रीगेट सब बेस कोर्स। थर्ड स्टेप में कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ एग्रीगेट बेस कोर्स। एंड लास्ट स्टेप में कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ सरफेस कोर्स, जो कि है हमारा बिटुमिनस, बिटुमिनस रोड का सरफेस कोर्स का कंस्ट्रक्शन। चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं हम स्टेप 1 से। ये देखिए, स्टेप 1 प्रिपरेशन ऑफ सोइल सबग्रेड। सोइल की सबसे नीचे की लेयर जो हमारी रोड की होती है वो मिट्टी की होती है। उसको हम प्रिपेयर कैसे करते हैं, ये देखिए इस फिगर में आप देख सकते हैं। यहाँ पे रोड कंस्ट्रक्शन हो रहा है और हर एक इमेज के कॉर्नर में मैंने इसकी डेट और प्लेस कहाँ से ये फ़ोटो ली गई है इसके बारे में बताया है। ये है जीटी रोड NH1 की और डेट है 1/09/2020। ठीक है, ये कंस्ट्रक्शन यहाँ से स्टार्ट हुआ है। ये देखिए हमारी सोइल सबग्रेड। ये जो इक्विपमेंट है ये होता है हमारा सरफेस लेवलर, जो कि सरफेस को एक लेवल में करता है, मिट्टी की लेयर को अच्छे से ये फैला देता है और एक जो डिजायर ग्रेडियंट होता है उसको हम अचीव करते हैं। ये देखिए आगे, ये है हमारा जो इक्विपमेंट सरफेस लेवलर, जो सरफेस को लेवल में करता है। इसका काम क्या होता है, लेइंग ऑफ सोइल लेयर, सोइल लेयर को अच्छे से फैलाना, एंड लेवल इट्स सरफेस टू ए डिजायर्ड ग्रेडियंट। जितना भी उसका डिजायर्ड ग्रेडियंट हो उसके अकॉर्डिंग उसको अच्छे से फैला देता है। ये काम करता है हमारा सरफेस लेवलर, इसको बोलते हैं कैटरपिलर। नेक्स्ट स्टेप इसमें क्या होता है, कॉम्पैक्शन। जो हमने मिट्टी के लेयर अच्छे से फैलाई है उसको अब हमें अच्छे से कॉम्पैक्ट करना है। तो कॉम्पैक्टिंग के लिए हम यूज़ करते हैं रोड रोलर। इट इज़ डन बाय स्प्रिंकलिंग ऑफ वाटर ओवर द लेयर ऑफ सोइल एंड रोलिंग द रोड रोलर ओवर इट। इस पे हम पानी को छिड़कते हैं और उसके ऊपर रोड रोलर को अच्छे से रोलिंग के लिए छोड़ देते हैं। इसका वेट हमारा होता है 4 से 8 टन। यह है हमारे रोड रोलर का वेट। इसको हम रोलिंग के लिए मिट्टी के लेयर पे अच्छे से रोलिंग करते हैं जिससे वो अच्छे से कॉम्पैक्ट हो जाती है। और जब हम रोलिंग करते हैं तो हमें एक चीज़ का ध्यान रखना पड़ता है कि रोलिंग जो हम करते हैं रोड के एजिस पे पहले करते हैं, बाद में हम उसके सेंटर की तरफ जाते हैं। क्योंकि जो हमें डिजायर्ड कैम्बर है उसको हम अचीव कर सकें। स्टार्टिंग हम एज से करेंगे और जाएंगे सेंटर की तरफ। ये होता है रोलिंग का पैटर्न। ठीक है, ये था हमारा सेकंड स्टेप जिसमें हम कॉम्पैक्शन कर रहे हैं। कॉम्पैक्शन के बाद आता है हमारा स्टेप 2। इसमें क्या होता है, जो हमने कॉम्पैक्ट की लेयर है सोइल सबग्रेड की, ये देखिए ये है सोइल सबग्रेड की लेयर। इसके ऊपर हम कोर्स एग्रीगेट की एक लेयर को अच्छे से फैला देते हैं। ये देखिए आप देख सकते हैं ये है एग्रीगेट सब बेस कोर्स। एग्रीगेट सब बेस कोर्स को हमने अच्छे से इसको फैला दिया है और अच्छे से इसको लेवल कर दिया है। हमारी लेवलिंग जो मशीन है ये है सरफेस लेवलर को, इस पर अच्छे से हमने फैला दिया है। लेइंग ऑफ एग्रीगेट लेयर एंड लेवल सरफेस टू ए डिजायर्ड ग्रेडियंट। और इसका जो डिजायर्ड ग्रेडियंट है उसके अकॉर्डिंग हमने एग्रीगेट की लेयर को अच्छे से वहाँ पे फैला दिया है। फैलाने के बाद उसको भी हमने कॉम्पैक्ट करना है और कॉम्पैक्शन के लिए हमने जो इक्विपमेंट यूज़ है वो है रोड रोलर। ये भी हमारा 4 से 8 टन का होता है। इसको भी हम अच्छे से उस पर रोल करते हैं और ताकि जितने भी हमारे उसमें वॉइड्स हैं वो कम हो जाए और हमारी सब बेस कोर्स है वो अच्छे से कॉम्पैक्ट हो जाए। इसमें भी रोलिंग हम स्टार्ट करते हैं एजिस पे से, रोड के एज से स्टार्ट करते हैं और मूव करते हैं टुवर्ड सेंटर ऑफ द रोड। ओके, नेक्स्ट है हमारा स्टेप 3। स्टेप 3 क्या है, ये भी हमारा बिल्कुल सेम है जैसा हमारा स्टेप 2 था। उसमें हमने एग्रीगेट बेस कोर्स को अच्छे से फैलाया था, कॉम्पैक्ट किया था। इसमें हमने एग्रीगेट बेस कोर्स, ये था हमारा सब बेस कोर्स और ये है हमारा बेस कोर्स जो कि हमारी थर्ड लेयर है। नीचे से थर्ड लेयर, इसको हमने अच्छे से फैलाया और उसको अच्छे से कॉम्पैक्ट किया। ये देखिए आप देख सकते हैं इसको हमने अच्छे से फैलाया है और अच्छे से कॉम्पैक्ट भी किया है। इसमें भी हमारा सेम प्रोसेस है, यही इक्विपमेंट का हम यूज़ करते हैं एक अच्छे से डिजायर्ड लेवल अचीव करने के लिए और अच्छे से एग्रीगेट को फैलाने के लिए। फिर अच्छे से कॉम्पैक्ट करने के लिए हमारा रोड रोलर का हम यूज़ करते हैं जो कि 4 से 8 टन का होता है। और स्टार्ट करते हैं एजिस से और एंड करते हैं इसके सेंटर पे, सेंटर लाइन पे। ये देखिए आप तीनों लेयर्स को अच्छे से देख सकते हैं। सबसे नीचे की लेयर हमारी है सबग्रेड। ये देखिए मिट्टी आप देख सकते हैं, मिट्टी की लेयर है ये। इसके ऊपर की लेयर है हमारी सब बेस कोर्स। ओके, ये है एग्रीगेट की सब बेस कोर्स। और सबसे ऊपर की लेयर हमारी इसमें शो की गई है बेस कोर्स। ओके, ये देखिए इस फिगर में भी आप अच्छे से देख सकते हैं। सबसे नीचे है हमारी मिट्टी की लेयर जिसको बोलते हैं सबग्रेड। उसके ऊपर जो हमारी कोर्स एग्रीगेट की लेयर है उसको बोलते हैं सब बेस कोर्स। और सबसे ऊपर की हमारी जो लेयर है इसको बोलते हैं हम बेस कोर्स। ओके, अब इसके बाद आता है हमारा फोर्थ स्टेप जो कि हमारा लास्ट स्टेप है। इसमें क्या होता है, कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ सरफेस कोर्स। जो हमारा रोड का सरफेस है उस लेयर को हम कंस्ट्रक्ट करते हैं जो कि हमारा इसमें है बिटुमिनस का, क्योंकि ये फ्लेक्सिबल पेवमेंट है इसमें बिटुमिनस का कंस्ट्रक्शन है। अगर रिजिड का होता तो आरसीसी का हम यूज़ करते हैं, आरसीसी या फिर पीसीसी। ये देखिए इसमें फर्स्ट, ये देखिए ये है हमारा बेस कोर्स। बेस कोर्स के ऊपर फर्स्ट हम डालते हैं एक थिन लेयर ऑफ बिटुमिन, जिसको हम बोलते हैं प्राइम कोट। प्राइम कोट का काम क्या होता है, ये एग्रीगेट की लेयर को और बिटुमिनस जो मटेरियल है उसकी लेयर को एक दूसरे के साथ बॉन्डिंग बनाता है, बॉन्डिंग डेवलप करता है, ताकि ये एक दूसरे के साथ अच्छे से चिपके रहें। ये देखिए इसमें आप देख सकते हैं ये ब्लैक कलर की जो लेयर इस पर डाली जा रही है, इसको बोलते हैं प्राइम कोट। और रोड के साथ में अब ये कर्व भी बना दिया गया है। अब प्राइम कोट के बाद इसके ऊपर स्टार्ट होता है काम। ये देखिए ये है रोड रोलर, रोड रोलर है, और इस पे हमने सरफेस कोर्स के लिए एसफाल्ट कंक्रीट का यूज़ किया है। एसफाल्ट कंक्रीट को हमने इस पे अच्छे से लेटाया है, अच्छे से फैलाया है, फिर उसको हैवी रोलर से अच्छे से रोल किया है, ताकि वो अच्छे से कॉम्पैक्ट कर दे हमारी एसफाल्ट कंक्रीट की लेयर को। ये देखिए ये मूव करेगा पूरी लेयर पे और अच्छे से हमारी कॉम्पैक्ट करेगा लेयर को। ये देखिए अच्छे से कॉम्पैक्ट करने के बाद हमारा रोड सरफेस रेडी हो जाएगा टू यूज़, रेडी टू यूज़, ओपन टू ट्रैफिक। ये देखिए अब स्टार्ट हमने 1 तारीख से किया था और 15 सितंबर को ये रोड हमारा कंस्ट्रक्ट होके कंप्लीट हो चुका है। अब ये रोड है जो हमारा ये पूरा का पूरा रेडी है टू ओपन। इसके ऊपर हम ट्रैफिक को अलाउ कर सकते हैं, इस पर ट्रैवल की परमिशन हम दे सकते हैं। उम्मीद करता हूँ आपको ये वीडियो अच्छी लगी होगी, काफ़ी इन्फॉर्मेटिव वीडियो है, आपकी इससे काफ़ी नॉलेज बनेगी। आप रोड कंस्ट्रक्शन की जो डाउट्स हैं इससे काफ़ी आपके क्लियर होंगे। तो मेरी वीडियो को देखते रहें और मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें। थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग।
Okay, so this we have see how the stepwise procedure which is carried out for one of the road that is constructed now for the flexible pavement. Also, there is different kind of procedure that is followed also for also preparing the pavement. So that also we will see. This is our regular procedure, but also by mixing some kind of the slurry into the soil to increase the strength
Time to scout.
capacity of the soil. By introducing the slurry into the soil, we can also improve the bearing capacity of the soil. So how it is to be constructed, now we will see by using by placing the slurry into the soil. Such type of the roller, you can see in this figure, such type of roller is called as ship foot roller. It is looks like a foot of the ships. Okay, so it is also called as ship foot roller.
My name is Ariel, and I just
Okay, now we have seen the different ways how the construction of the flexible pyramid is to be carried out. Okay. So next we will see what are the equipments that are used in the video. Also, you might have seen the different equipments that are used while constructing the pyramid. Okay. The first one is the grader. Okay. So to level the soil layer, the grader it is used. Then the spray truck mounted sprinkler to make the soil wet. We use the truck mounted sprinkler. Okay. To increase the moisture content into the soil, we also use the sprinkler. Also, when we are compacting, we can compact by applying the water, so the proper compaction will be there. Okay. Then this is the rotavators that is used to mix the soil properly. Then the smooth wheel roller you have seen now into the videos. Okay, it is used to for the compaction of the soil. Then this is a vibratory roller. It is also used for the compaction. Depending on the width, sorry, the depth of the soil is to be compacted. The type of the soil is to be compacted. The type of roller will vary. Okay, so how we decide the which type of the rollers to be used for compaction? So it depends on depth is to be compacted as well as the soil is to be compacted. Okay, so depending on this parameter, we use the different type of the roller. So this is what the vibratory roller. First we have seen smooth wheel roller. This is vibratory roller. The third one is the pneumatic tire roller. Okay, now only we have seen into the video. Pneumatic tire roller, it is mounted by the wheel tires. Ship's foot roller, that the figure only indicates the roller is looks like the foot of the ship, so it is named as the ship foot roller. Okay, so these are the different rollers that are used for the compaction. Okay. Now we will see the stepwise procedure for the each and every layer. Okay. Now we will see first the granular subbase course. Okay. First we will see the granular subbase course and the drainage course. So what is the object? A granular subbase course is laid in between the subgrade and the base course. Okay. The below bottom here is the subgrade, that is soil. Then above the subbase, and there above the subcourse, base course. Okay. So it is placed between the subgrade and the base course of all the highway pyramids in one or more layers. It may be in the one layer, it may be in the more layers, depending on its depth. Okay, if the depth is less, it is compacted into the one layer. If it is more, we go for the more layers. The granulated sub-base layer should be laid over the full width of the prepared subgrade, extending up to the side drain so as to serve a drainage layer of the pavement if another separated drainage layer is not provided. Okay, now only we have seen into the figure up to the total road, that is up to the drainage, the sub-base course is provided. Okay, up to the drainage sub-base course is provided so that it will also serve the objective of the drainage. Okay, so it will also serve the drainage area also. Now, in the flexible pavement of the highway, the GSB is nothing but what? Granular subbase. Okay, GSB layer means granular subbase layer. Performs the following two important functions. Okay, why we are providing the granular sublayer? What is the function is to be provided by the granular sublayer? So first and important function is to serve as a structural component of the flexible pyramid structure by distributing the wheel load stresses transmitted through the surface course and the granular subbase course to the still larger area before passing on the compressive stress on the top of the subgrade. Okay. The first and most important motive is what? Whatever the load that is coming by the pyramid on the base course, that is transferred to the subgrade soil by using this subbase course. And this is in the flexible pyramid, because large load it is transferred in the flexible pyramid, because all the load whatever it is coming from the wheels, what that all load is transferred by the granular action. Okay, grain to grain load is transferred, so that the more load it is transferred into the flexible pyramid by the subbase course. But when we compare with the rapid course, whatever it is load it is there, it is transferred by the slab action of the concrete layer. So subbase course at that position carries the less weightage of the transferring load, okay, as compared to the flexible pyramid. So this is the first motto. It works, or it serves as the structural component to transfer the load from the base course to the subgrade side. Okay. What is the second objective to provide this layer? To serve as an effective drainage layer to drain off the water entering into the pyramid layer. Okay, whatever the water that is entering into the pyramid layer, that all water will be drained out. Okay, it is drained out, that water, leading to the longitudinal road drain, such that only a very small proportion of water enters into the subgrade. The water entering the pyramid layer may partially consist of the portion of surface water which enters to the surface course, and the rest of water which enters to the earth shoulders and the earthen median of the divided highway. Okay, means what? Whatever the water it is there, that water coming from surface layer, it is very much less. Okay, the majorly water penetrates from where? From the median that we have provided, and also from the shoulders that we have provided. Majority of the water penetrates through these two layers, median and the shoulders. From the surface layer, less amount of negligible amount of water will penetrate. All these water should be drained out by the drainage layer, that is the subbase layer. Okay, the very less amount of water should be penetrated to the subgrade side. Okay, so that is the second function of the subbase layer. Therefore, granulated subbase cum the drainage layer serves as essential component of the flexible highway pyramid. However, in this case of the rigid pyramid, the highway GSB layer serves only as an effective drainage layer, as the magnitude of the load stresses transmitted on the GSB layer will be negligibly small. As I have told now only, whatever the loads that are transferred in the rigid pyramid that are by the slab action, only small negligible stresses will be transferred through the GSB, that is granulated subbase layer. Okay, the main important role of the subbase layer into the rigid pyramid is to serve as the drainage layer. Okay, so that the water should be drained out. Only this is the main function in the rigid pyramid. Then what are the construction steps to construct the GSB, granulated subbase layer? Okay, so we will see now the construction steps that to be followed while constructing the granular subbase layer. The granular subbase layer is constructed on the top of the prepared subgrade. Therefore, the surface of the subgrade is checked, and the grass and the vegetations, if any, are removed. The grade and the cross slope of the top surface of the subgrade are corrected as required. The construction steps are as given below. Okay, we have to construct the subbase layer on subgrade. So before constructing the subbase layer, what we have to check? We have to check for the subgrade layer, whether it is prepared well or not, whether there are the vegetations, whether there are the grass shrubs on the subgrade layer. Okay, what we have to do, we have to clean the subgrade layer before we are laying the subbase layer. Okay, then what are the steps? Now you'll see the first step is the subbase material is sprayed to the uniform thickness and the specified cross slope using the mortar grader by adjusting the blades of the grader. Okay, now what we have to do, first step is to form a uniform thickness of the soil that is required, as well as whatever the slope that is required on that pavement. Okay, and how we will do this? By using the graders. Now only we have seen the figures. By using the grader, we used to form the uniform thickness of the soil. We used to spread the soils uniformly over the road by using the graders, blades. Then second step is the moisture content of the material is checked and the additional quantity of water required to bring up to the optimum moisture content is sprinkled at the uniform rate using the truck mounted sprinkler. Okay, now second step is what? We have to check the water content of that soil. Okay, when we are preparing the subbase material, we have to also check the water content. If the water content is up to the optimum moisture content, then it is okay. But if it is less than optimum moisture content, we have to go for the sprinkling of the water by using the truck mounted sprinklers. Then what we have to do after the sprinkling, we have achieved the optimum moisture content. Why to achieve the optimum moisture content? Because the whatever the compaction it is there, it will be good at the optimum moisture content. Also, it will give the better results to achieve the bearing capacity of the soil. Okay, so whatever the compaction it is there, it will be with the very good capacity or very good at the optimum moisture content. Then the next step is the watered material is mixed properly using the machinery such as the disc harrows or the rotavators. Okay, what we have to do then? We have to mix the material properly. After the applying the water, we have to mix the soil and water properly by using the rotavators if required. Okay. Then whatever this mixing we have done, this mixed material is sprayed by desired thickness grades and the camber using the mortar grader with the hydraulic control of the blades. Okay, now what we have to do? Now what we have done? We have added the water. Then after adding the water, we have mixed it properly with the soil. Then what we have to do with it? We have to achieve the desired thickness. Also, we desire the grade and the camber that is required. Okay, the slopes that are required. So how we can achieve this? By using the grader. Mortar grader we are used to by the controlling the blades of the grader, we achieve the desired thickness, desired the grade, desired camber, desired slopes of that pavements. Okay, so we have to use the mortar graders very carefully. Then the loose GSB layer is compacted by the rolling. Now what we have done? We have laid or sprayed the soil by using the graders. Now what we have to do? We have to go for the compaction of that layer. Okay. Now while compacting, we have to use the rollers. Okay. If the compacted thickness of the layer is up to the 100 mm. Okay. When the compact, whatever the soil it is to be compacted, if that thickness is 100 mm or less than the 100 mm, then we have to go with the smooth wheel roller. Okay, the smooth wheel roller may be used for up to this thickness. Suppose if this thickness extending from 100 mm up to the 225. Okay, if this thickness is increasing from 100 mm to the 225 mm thickness, then we have to go for the vibratory roller with the 10 tons of a load or the more. Okay, if the thickness is increasing, we have to go for the vibratory roller with the 10 ton of the compaction effect or the more, whatever they require. And if we require to go with the more compaction, if required, we can use the pneumatic tire roller. Okay. So these are the compactors. Also, we can use the shift foot roller, whatever required according to the situation. We have to decide the type of the compactor is to be used. What we have to do now, the go for the compaction. Okay. After the compaction, the rolling is done, starting from the lower edge to the proceeded towards the center of the undivided carriageway or towards the upper edge of the divided carriageway, with the minimum 1/3 overlap between the each run of the roller. The rolling speed is limited to the less than 5 kmph. Now see, this is the important part. After the compacting, what we have to do? We have to maintain the surface plane. For that, what we will do? Rolling on the surface. Okay, whenever we are going for the rolling by using the rollers on the surface, we have to keep in mind, whenever we are rolling on that road, the minimum overlapping of the rolling should be 1/3 of the overlapping between the each turn. Means what? I will show you. Suppose, okay, now I will show here. See, this is the width of road that is to be rolled by using the rollers. Now I am rolling this road. Suppose this is the width of the roller. Okay, so I am rolling this road by using this width of the road continuously. Okay, it will rolls the road in the straight line like that. Okay, but when I am coming back or returning back to roll the next step of the next layer, so what I have to do? I have to go with the at least minimum 1/3 portion. Means what? After now, this much layer is rolled out. This much layer I have rolled. Now, after rolling the further stage, I have to go with the minimum 1/3 portion should be rolled. Okay, I have to go with the 1/3 portion more to be rolled. This is should be this overlap of the rolling. Okay, this is the first turn of the rolling. This is the second turn of the rolling. So whatever the overlap it is there, this overlap should be 1/3. Okay, this overlap should be the 1/3 of the total width of the rolling. Understood? Suppose in the first turn, in the first journey, I have rolled from this to up to this. Okay, this much strip I can say in the first turn. Now I will come for the second turn. Okay, now I have to roll from here to here. Okay, so this much should be the second turn rolling. Okay, in the first and second turn of the rolling, when I am rolling, so this much portion should be overlapped. Okay, when I am going for the second turn of the rolling, I should make sure that at least 1/3, this is whatever the hitched portion it is there, this is 1/3, at least 1/3 portion should be overlapped in the first and second rolling. 1/3 portion. Okay, at least 1/3 portion should be overlapped. In the next also second and third rolling, this 1/3 portion should be overlapped. Likewise, in each and every turn, we should make sure that 1/3 portion should be overlapped. And also we have to maintain the 5 kmph. Means what? 5 km/h speed should be maintained for that roller speed. Okay. Whenever I am rolling, I have to make sure that I have to maintain the speed of 5 kmph. Okay, that this much speed should be maintained whenever you are rolling on that road. Okay. And the last step is rolling is continued till at least 98% of the maximum density of the material is to be achieved by the heavy compaction as per the IS 2720. Okay, this is important. Whenever we are rolling, we should have to keep in mind, we should have to achieve the 98% of the tri density. Okay, 98% of the density is to be achieved whenever I am going for the rolling onto the ground. Okay, then after now I have told the stepwise procedure for the constructing the road. Okay, what is the first step? First we have to do for spreading of the soil. Then next what we have to do after the spreading of the desired thickness of the road, if required we have to add the water to obtain the optimum moisture content. If I have added the water, I have to mix the water and soil properly. After the mixing, I have to lay the soil with the proper required width by using the grader blades. Okay, after spreading the soil, what I have to do, go for the compaction of that soil by using the different compactors according to the situation, according to the soil. We have to go for the proper required compactor. It may be the pneumatic tire roller, it may be the shift foot roller, it may be the smooth wheel roller, okay, it may be the vibratory roller. According to the situation, according to the soil, we have to decide the specified compactor. Then after compacting, I have to go for the rolling of that layer. Okay, and whenever I am going for the rolling, I have to make sure that 1/3 portion should be overlapped for the second term. Okay, at least 1/3 portion should be overlap for the second term, and the rolling speed should be 5 kmph. 5 kmph should be the speed of the roller. Then the last step is what I have to make sure the density should be achieved at 98%. 98% of density should be achieved. Okay, so these are the steps carried out whenever I am constructing the subbase layer. We are just discussing about the subbase layer, granular subbase layer. Okay, now I have told the steps, but whenever I am constructing, I have to make sure that the quality should be achieved. Okay, so that purpose I have to go with for the quality control checks during the construction of the granular subbase. Okay, now what are these the quality checks? Now the first check is the representative sample of the granular subbase layer material collected from the each source are subjected to the relevant laboratory tests. Okay, from the each portion I have to take the sample of the granular subbase layer that I have compacted, and I have to take it for the laboratory tests to check its liquid limit, plasticity index, gradation, deleterious constituents. If the requirements are fulfilled, the material is approved. Okay, whatever the tests that I have to perform on that soil, that all tests are carried out, like the liquid limit test, plasticity index, gradation test, density test. Okay, likewise the test, all the tests I have to carry out. If they are satisfactory, results will be there, then we can use that material. Okay, so this is the first quality checking. Now the second is the laboratory compaction test is to be achieved by the heavy compaction test. Is carried out to determine the optimum moisture content and the maximum drying. This is very important stage. Most important quality parameter checking, optimum moisture content and the maximum dry density. This should be checked out in the laboratory, and it is carried out by the heavy compaction. Okay, heavy compaction and the light compaction. There are two different compactions. Okay, by using the heavy compaction, we have to go for checking the maximum dry density, as well as the optimum moisture consumption also side by side should be checked. Now third is the CBR value of the selected material is to be determined into the laboratory. Okay, the second next parameter what we have to check, the CBR value, California bearing ratio value, that is to be checked for that material. Okay, and this value we are checking for standard penetration of 2.5 mm and 5 mm that we have learned into the practical. The field moisture content of the material is determined prior to the compaction by any rapid test method, and the extra quantity of water is to be added to bring the optimum moisture content estimated. Okay, we have to check the field moisture content, that is called the FMC, field moisture content. We have to check how much moisture it is there on the field soil. Then if required, we have to add the water in it to bring it the optimum moisture content. Okay, after the rolling, we have to check the field density and the field moisture content are determined by the one of the approved method to ensure that the dry density is to be achieved should not be less than 98% of the laboratory density. Okay. Whatever the laboratory density that we have achieved, the field density should be at least 98% of that density. Okay. The steps 4 and 5 are repeated for each subsequent layer. Okay, for each and every layer, we have to perform this optimum moisture content, then we have to check, and as well as the density also we have to check. And the last is the finishing surface level of the sub-base cores are checked with the reference to the desired longitudinal and the cross profile. Okay, finally what we have to check the surface level, whether it is to be maintained, decide the grades that we have to maintain. Okay, and cross profiles of the road shown in the drawing. Whatever the drawing, whatever the cross slope is there, whatever the longitudinal slope is there, okay, whatever the desired, it is given into the drawing that we have to maintain, okay, on the field. If these are found to exceed the permissible tolerance limit, that is -20 mm and the +6 mm, then the appropriate corrections are to be made by removing or adding the part of the material on the surface by the further rolling. Okay, we have to go with the tolerance limit up to -20 mm and +6 mm. This much is our tolerance limit. If it is beyond this, then if it is less than the required thickness, we have to add the material and go for the rolling. If it is more than the required thickness, then we have to remove some material and go for the rolling. Okay, that we have to maintain the proper thickness, proper grade, proper slopes, cross profiles of the road. Okay, so these are the quality checking parameters are to be required to be used. But the most important in this is moisture, optimum moisture content and the dry density. These are two important parameters that need to be checked very carefully. So note the last point is the Indian Road Congress and the Ministry of the Road Transport and the Highway have suggested the number of tests is to be conducted per specified unit volume of material for the purpose of the quality control of the GSB material. Okay, now we can also say whenever I am laying the GSB, that is granulated subbase layer, I have to perform the check, but at how much interval I have to go for the checking the dry density, at how much interval I have to go for the checking of the optimum moisture content. Okay, so the IRC, that is India Road Congress, and the Ministry of Road Transport and the Highway have decided some certain specifications. And what are these? Whenever you are going for the checking of optimum moisture content test, this test is to be carried out at least at 250 meter square area. Means what? At every 250 meter square area, you have to go for the checking optimum moisture content. And for every 500 meter square area, you have to go for checking the density of the soil. Okay, so these are the unit specifications that are given by the IRC and the MOD. For optimum moisture content, at least in 250 meter square area, one test is to be carried out, and for the density test in the 500 meter square area, density is to be carried out for every 500 meter square area. Okay. So this is very important note. Everyone please write down this note. And this is for construction of granular subbase course. Granular subbase course. This is condition for granular subbase course. Please write down this, all of you. Give the heading as granular subbase course, construction of granular subbase course, and write down this. This is very important for exam point of view. Exam point of view, this is very important. Please write down this term. Okay, so this is for what? For construction of the subbase layer that we have seen now. The first layer, that is subbase layer. Okay. Now, whatever the steps that we have seen, whatever the quality checking parameters that we have seen, all about this is for the subbase layer. Okay. Now we will move forward for the second layer. The next layer is the construction of the granular subbase cores. Okay. The second layer is the construction of the base cores. Now, first we have taken subbase cores. Now, second is the base course. Okay, now you will see the what are the steps. Also, the what is the base course? What are the steps involved to construct the base course? What are the quality parameters that needs to be checked when the construction of the base course? Okay. The types of the base course materials used in the flexible payments. The common types of the base course materials used in the India for the construction of the flexible pavement are: for construction of the base pavement, what we have done commonly used: water bond macadam, water mix macadam, soil aggregate mixes, and the soil stabilized soil mixes. Okay, so these are the common base course are used into the India. What are these? Wet mix macadam, water bond macadam, soil aggregate mixes, and the stabilized soil mixes. So these are the common base course materials that are used to construct the base course. Okay. Now we will see one by one. The first is the construction of the wet mix macadam base. Okay. Now we will see the construction of the wet mix macadam. What are the construction steps when you are constructing the wet mix macadam? The compaction test is carried out in the laboratory using the selected grade of WMM. WMM means wet mix macadam. Okay. The optimum moisture content and the WMM, that is wet mix macadam mix, is determined in the laboratory having done the heavy compaction. Okay. What we have to done first, we have to go for the compaction test in the laboratory for the WMM road, and we have to also check the optimum moisture content. These are very two important steps carried out for the number of layers. Okay, optimum moisture content and the density test. The selected WM material with the water equal to the optimum moisture content is prepared in suitable mixing plant like a pug mill. Okay, what we have to do now? We have to select the material which have the proper optimum moisture content. We should have the optimum dry, whatever the required dry density. Okay, now we have to collect that material, mix with the help of the pugging mill. Okay, pug mill is the nothing but the instrument which is used for mixing. You might have observed when the bricks are constructed. Okay, you might have observed the construction of the bricks, how it is constructed. When we take the mud and the different materials used to be added into the when we are constructing the brick, that all the mixture is mixed into the pug mill. Okay, so what is the pug mill? It is the instrument used for mixing the materials. Okay, now I have to mix all the material with the water content as well in the pug mill. Now the next step is water mix, wet mix macadam is mixed with whatever it is mixed, it is transported on the site. Okay, now I have mixed with the material required. I have transported it on the site and sprayed using the self-propelled type of the pure finisher machine, the required thickness and the grade and the crossflow. Okay, now what we have to do? I have to take it on the subbase course, sprayed into it on the subbase course, and maintain the proper required thickness of the WMM. Okay. Then what I have to do? The whatever the wet mix macadam layer it is there, it is compacted by using the vibratory roller with the minimum with the vibratory roller with the minimum static weight of 10 tons. Okay, I have to mix with the minimum 10 tons of the static load of the vibratory roller. I have to compact that layer. Now, after the compacting thickness, if it is less than 200 mm, I have to go with the vibratory roller. Rolling is done starting from the lower edge and the proceeding towards the center of the undivided carriage. Okay, whenever we are rolling, we have to make sure that we are starting from the edges and go to the center point. Okay, this is the standard procedure for rolling. You have to start with the edge and go to the center of the roll. Okay. For the undivided carriageway or the towards the upper edge of the divided carriageway, with the minimum 1/3 overlap between the each run. I have told now only whenever I am rolling on the road, I have to maintain the minimum 1/3 overlap between the each turn. And also the speed of the roller should be 5 km/h. So these are very common and important points. Okay, whenever I am rolling, I should have the roller with the 10 tons of the capacity. It should be rolled such that the minimum overlapping of the each turn should be 1/3 and the speed of the roller is 5 km/h. Okay. If the total design thickness of WMM base course is say 250 mm, the base is constructed into the two layers, which is compacted at the thickness of 125 mm. Okay, when if the layer thickness is more, that is 250, that much proper compaction is not achieved. So that what we will do, we have to do the compaction in the two layers, 125 mm on first layer, 125 on second layer. Okay, likewise, I have to go with the two-layer thickness of the road compaction. Okay, so that we will achieve the proper compaction of that particular layers. After the compaction of the first layer, the second layer is laid by the mechanical paver finisher, preferably by the sensor paver, and the compacted by the vibratory roller is mentioned in the step 3 and 4 above. Okay, what I have to do now? I have to make the proper size or the width of the base course layer and go for the compaction as per the requirement of the compactor. Whatever the compactor, it may be the vibratory, it may be the roller, shift foot roller, okay. Whatever the required as per the situation, I have to go for the compaction. Now, the WMM surface is checked for the defects. Okay, after the compaction, I have to now check for the defects. If any, allowed to dry it. No traffic shall be allowed before the bituminous surface course is constructed. Okay, the road should not be taken under the use before it is laid by the bituminous layer, surface layer. Okay, up to that, road should not be allowed for the traffic. Okay. Whatever the defects are there, we should have to analyze the defects and we have to overcome that defects. Now, after the WMM layer is dried for at least 24 hours in the dry weather, the preparation for the laying the bituminous pavement layer may start by applying the prime coat. Now, what I have to do? I have to go for the now next layer, that is bituminous layer. Okay, that is the surface layer. But before that, I have to go for the drying of that layer at least for the 24 hours. Okay, and after that, I will apply the prime coat on that, and then I will apply the whatever surface coat. Okay, so I have to apply the prime coat first. So these are the steps. Okay, the same steps probably go for the mixing of the materials. Then before the taking the material, we should have to ensure the optimum moisture content and the density of that material. Mix it properly, apply it on the road, maintain the proper thickness as well as the width. Okay, if the thickness is more, convert it into the two parts. Okay, if the suppose thickness is 250, then I have to compact it into the two layers, 125 mm each. Okay, so that the proper compaction is achieved, proper density is to be achieved on the road. Then I have to check whether any defects are there. I have to overcome that. And before laying the main surface layer, I should not allow the road for the traffic. Okay. After the completion of the base course, I have to apply the prime coat. Okay, and apply after that I have to go for the next layer, that is the surface layer. Okay. These are the steps involved for construction of the base layer. Okay, this is we have seen for the base layer. Okay, now I have to also ensure that the quality should be achieved whenever I am constructing the base course. Okay, so what are the quality control checks? So first is the sample of pores aggregate collected are subjected to the relevant laboratory tests to check the values of Los Angeles average value or the aggregate impact value, combined the flakiness and the elongation index. Okay, whenever I am taking the material for the construction, before that I have to check the certain test. Okay, what are these tests? Abrasion value that we have seen into the practical, abrasion value test, aggregate impact test, flakiness index, elongation index. Okay, that we have learned into the concrete technology. Flakiness index, elongation index, how to calculate how much should be the its limits. Okay, then and then only if they are satisfactory, if the results are satisfactory, we have to use that material for the construction. Then also plasticity index is to be checked on the fraction of the mixed aggregate that pass 0.4 to 5 mm. Also, we need to check the plasticity index. The gradation of the combined mix of the coarse and fine aggregate is to be checked. Okay, gradation of the aggregate also we need to check. What type of the grade? For the grade A, what type shape of the aggregate is to be used? For grade 2, what are the aggregates is to be used? For grade 3, likewise gradation is also we need to check. Okay. Then the laboratory compaction test by the heavy compaction is to be carried out on the selected mixed aggregate to determine the optimum moisture content and the maximum dry density. This is the important step. We have to check the optimum moisture content at dry density maximum. It should be at 90%, 98%. Right? Okay. And this is carried out by the heavy compaction test. The moisture content of the WMM mix is determined while being fed into the mechanical paver to ensure that it is within the permissible limits of the optimum moisture content. Okay. Also, we need to check the moisture content. It should be below the optimum moisture content. If it is too much below, then we have to add certain water and make it up to the optimum moisture content. Okay. The field density and the moisture content of the compacted WMM layer are determined by one of the approved method, and to ensure that the dry density achieved is not less than 98% of the standard laboratory density. Okay, you have to go for the field density checking as well as the field moisture content checking, and ensure that the the density should not be less than 98% of the laboratory test result. Okay. The steps 5th and 6th are repeated for each subsequent layer. For each and every layer, we have to go for the checking out the optimum moisture content. We have to check the maximum dry density for each and every layer. Now, the finished surface level of the WMM base course are checked with the reference of the desired longitudinal and the cross profile of the road. If these are found to exceed the permissible tolerance of plus or minus 10 mm, the affected area scarified and not less than 5 meter in length and 2 meter in width, reshaped with the added limits and the recompacted by the road. The same whatever there in the subbase layer. In the base layer also, we need to check the profile of the road, whatever it is given by the drawing, given on the drawing. The cross slopes, the slopes, okay, the camber provided, the longitudinal slope provided, drain slope provided, all slopes are to be achieved on the site. If it is within the tolerance limit, that is plus or minus 10 mm, it is okay. But if they are exceeding, we need to go for the adding the premix or the recompacted by the rollers. Okay. And the most important note, by the Ministry of Road Transport and the Highway have suggested that the minimum of one set of aggregate impact, flatness index, elongation index tests are to be conducted per 200 meter cube of the aggregate. Okay, for every 200 meter cube of the aggregate, we have to go for the flatness index test, elongation index test, impact value test. Okay. And the grading of the mixed aggregate to be checked at one test per 100 meter cube of the aggregate. Also, we need to check the gradation of the aggregate. For each and every 100 meter cube of the aggregate, we need to check at least one test for the checking the gradation. And also, we need to check the density of the aggregate. And for each and every 50 meter square of the compacted area, we need to check the density of that particular layer. Okay, so these are very important parameters. Please write down this. This is very important. Important parameters are there. And this is for WMM road. Please write down this. Okay, if you have completed, mark your attendance to chat box, then you can left. If you have completed, mark your attendance to the chat box. Then you can left